Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another amazing episode of Infosec Tales with Gaurav, Batra Women's Month special. Today we have an amazing leader with us, Saloni Vijay. She is Head Risk Security Assurance at Vodafone India Limited. Hello Saloni, welcome to the show. How are you
Hi
today?
Gaurav, thanks for inviting for the wonderful series which you are doing with all the women leaders of the industry. Thank you.
Thank you for accepting the offer, and I think we have connected. Last I have heard you in many panels, and I think you have done one for cyber threat as well. And there's a lot of information I think the women's learn from you, and you have amazing experience in your life. So that is what the agenda for today, and I will love to know how your journey was overall as a leader, and what you have accomplished so far, and what your learnings which you will like to share with the other women during this Women's Month. So first to start with, many ladies are, worrying about if the cybersecurity is the field for them or not. How cybersecurity happened to you?
Okay, so cybersecurity was not the field which I've chosen for my career in the beginning. Okay, so I have 2 decades of experience in multiple roles which I've played in telecom. So earlier I was into telecom technology, and wherein I have worked on value-added service platform and the packet core platform, which is known as a internet, mobile internet. And then I moved into IT. I've done IT profile, was IT head for Gujarat. Then after merger of Vodafone and Idea, I've managed multiple circles. So I'm a person who always wanted to learn something new and do something new. And that's how my role has been changed. And I was fortunate enough that I've got enough opportunities to move or transition or have done transition from one role to another role in various profile of them. While I've done everything, I was again looking for something new. And then cyber security has come in my way. So somebody has told me, okay, how about cyber security? And to be very frank, Gaurav, cyber security was something which always scared me. Okay, so I was like, okay, this is a challenging profile. Security now, the entire business is moved online, and the world is moving towards digital transition. So a lot of cyber attacks, threats, coming on our way. So as a cyber security manager or specialist, you are always on your toe. So that was something which was scaring me, whether I should go for cyber security or not. As a person, I always love to accept challenges, and I want to do something which really scares me. Then I thought, okay, let me just put my hand and feet into this field and feel it how it is. Okay, and that's how I have moved into cyber security. So this role is yes, when I was heading IT, we were doing security, but it was not a core profile for me. Then around a year back, I moved into the core, and till now the journey is really exciting, full of learnings, challenges, and every day I'm learning something new. So I'm really happy for the decision which I've taken and moved my career from IT to cybersecurity.
So
That's
what
how
was
cybersecurity happened to me.
what was the one learning you have, like how it is different from IT? So in cybersecurity in last 1 year.
See, IT is altogether a set industry. Cybersecurity is something which is growing up now. If I talk about cybersecurity 10 years back, okay, it was kind of a not mainline function for any organization. So when the subject is new, immense opportunity in terms of learning also. Every day you are updating yourself with something new. Whereas IT, you know most of the thing. It's just like you are executing. So the learning part in cybersecurity is very high.
Okay, and what we have seen or the perception in the industry, cybersecurity is of course a very challenging role, and sometimes it requires you to be on toes at 24/7. So at this stage of your career, when you have spent a lot of time in IT and then taking up these challenges, how you feel, and in 1 year, what kind of challenges you feel, and how you will like to tell the other women who are, watching us here, if the cybersecurity is for them or not? Because many women just, or in the college when I go for the interviews, I say, sir, data analytics, AI, and machine learning, kuch bhi chalega, cybersecurity nahi chahiye. What kind of advice you have for them, and how you overcome that stage or fear?
Okay, so Gaurav, as I mentioned that I work with core telecom technology. So this 24 by 7 job, or make yourself available all the times, is not me.
Okay.
And believe me, it was difficult in my initial years of career. When you are the person who are doing everything. As in when you move up, you have team members who supports you. So things are not that difficult. At that time, when you are the executor, you also started your career, your personal life also gets started. So at that time, I played those roles. So that is not at all challenging. I'll say, it it doesn't depend whether you're a man or woman. You should be passionate about the work which you are doing. So and second, your support system should be good enough. So if I talk about my initial days, my role was very very demanding, and I have worked in a team wherein we had all the in-house platforms. So we were the people who were designing, developing, and doing the development of the applications, platform, the entire infrastructure. So it's kind of an in-house team wherein I was working. So uh, everything was being managed by us. So if something goes down, if there is unplanned downtime, you have to rush to the office at that time. You don't look at the time, whether it's night 10, 12, 2 a.m. or
Okay.
it's a morning time, whatever, you have to be. So when you are ready to take those kind of challenges, it really excites you. So according to me, nothing related to gender. If you are open to take such kind of roles, there is an immense opportunity that can come in your way. I'll just share a small story. So
Sure.
when
Yeah.
I was into that role, when I was doing that role, there was a time wherein there was some unplanned downtime in our system, and I had to rush to the office. There was no one at my home, and my husband was traveling, and my kid was 1.5 year old, and I had
Okay.
to rush to office in the night 2 a.m. I've just picked up my kid, went to the office, make him sleep in the office, and I've started doing my work. So if you are passionate, then nothing can stop you. Cybersecurity, yes. In last 1 year, to be very frank, my experience is not when I have to make myself available for 24 by 7, because the role which I am playing currently, it's related to risk management. So that is moreover, kind of a strategic role rather than the security operation or security operations and managing the security operations center kind of role. But yes, nothing is impossible if you decide that you 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 have to do that role.
Definitely, Saloni.
That's
I think the story, the one, the thing you have mentioned, that how you went to the office with your 1.5 year kid at 2 a.m. in the morning. So that is gonna inspire many women over there, and that's an incredible story. So that shows that leadership quality and the toughness you have. So how it was built in. So let's go or take a step behind and just talk about your college days, or how that quality was done. Was it there, or that you immersed during your professional life, and that those qualities were built in? How was that?
okay. So if I talk about my college days or my school days, since beginning, I was a bright student. So in terms of getting admission in good colleges was nothing kind of impossible for me. But to be very frank, I belong to Rajasthan. So
Okay.
the situation or surrounding was not that supportive enough that my family were sending me out of my hometown for the further study. So the foundation with me was that I had to study. So I belong from Udaipur, so I had to study in Udaipur only, and there were not very good engineering colleges. So I decided not to go into engineering, and I moved into the normal graduation. But then post normal graduation, there was a stream for masters of computer application, the new branch is just opened in my college. And I was so determined. It is inherited to me. When I decide something that I want it, that means I want it. So, and then I put all my inner force to achieve that. So if it is something like, if I want to top the class, I'll put all my efforts, okay, to top the class. Possibly, okay, I will top the class. There might be possibility there are 10 more kids who have same kind of, passion. But yes, I believe you should put your 100%. Then you should keep rest on the destiny. So that's how I was in college. Then this MCA has started, and I have applied for this. I knew that if I will not get admission in this, then I will not have any other option. So I have studied hard, and at the first attempt, I have cleared this MCA entrance exam. So I can say that I was like this in my school and college time also. And when I moved into a professional career, I always wanted to do something, challenging, something different. So I've chosen the course also. It's always given me the goosebumps. I have never been in the resting position, or never ever in my comfort zone. So that's something which is inherited in me.
Great. This is even motivating me. So I will just like to tell this woman. So there is no stopping in there. So you have a leader sitting over here with IT and cybersecurity lead, who came from a small town, not from a metro city, have not done the engineering and put all the efforts, and now sitting in the as a position in the IT and security leader. So yes, amazing story, Saloni, that motivates us. But I think during this professional life, being a leader, you must have seen many challenges, and how you overcome that, and what is the biggest thing, if you think about the past or in your career, where you feel like, or where you were very down, no, this is why this happened to me, or then you overcome. Is there a situation like that in the professional career? Any incident, something you like to share?
Yeah, Gaurav, it happened to me. So fortunately, there are not many incidents, but yes, it happened to me in the initial years of my career. So, I've gone for my maternity leave, and let me tell you, Gaurav, these are very important stages of any woman's life, and that will put you for some halt. So I always say in my, any panel discussion, or whenever I speak to someone on women's journey life, there are the 3M which comes in any woman's life. It is a marriage, maternity, and motherhood. These three are very important stages, wherein it's a make or break situation for a woman. Many women leave the job post marriage. If they succeed, then there are chances wherein when they go for maternity, post maternity, they don't come back and join the workforce. Or if they come back after a few months, so maybe they realize they are not doing justice to their child, and then they apparently leave the job. So these are the three situations. Once you cross all these three situations, then things are quite okay. So there was apparently happened to me when I came back from my maternity leave. I've seen, the world has changed for me. Whatever I was doing, the project which was under me, that has been given to someone else, and people have assumed that now, I've come from maternity, I have a toddler who I need to take care of, so I might not be able to give my 100% to the job or profile. So the profile has also been reduced, and I'm a very, I'm a kind of person, who never satisfied with the less. Okay, so I was like, I have been given a role of creating some MISs kind of thing, which I was not enjoying at all. So these were some of the barriers which I realized that I am ready to put my 100%. I'm ready to give, whatever best from my side. So why someone else is thinking on my behalf? What are my potentials? So that is something which put me off at that time. But then I realized that it depends on me how I prove myself. So, then I've spoken to my manager, convinced him, give me one project. If you will feel that I'm not able to give you whatever is the expectation out of that profile, then you take a decision. At least give me a chance. So I've convinced. See, if I will think if I had thought at that time, okay, this is my destiny or I have to do this, I might not have got the chance to move up. But at that time, I spoke. And many times what happened now, women doesn't speak whatever they want. So that's
Yeah.
one of the learning of my entire career, that if you want something, you have to ask. You have to raise your voice that I need it. So I always say that, if your plate is empty and you're hungry, you have to tell that you need to refill that plate. Otherwise, people might assume that now you are satisfied and you don't
Mhm.
need more. So I've spoken to my manager and he convinced, and then it started from a small project. I've given my 100%. The output was nice. Then I won the trust of my leader, and then apparently, the journey started. So that only once in my life when I have felt, that there is something which I'm not liking, or this is an uncomfortable situation. But otherwise, work-wise, it was completely perfect. I'm not faced any that kind of
Great.
challenges.
Great, great. Good to know that. And I think the best learning which we have is never settle down and go out and ask there what you need and what you're feeling. Share your feelings with the manager or friends, and get your work done, or aim for more. So, who inspires you most? Whenever you were in this situation, whom you look out for? If you have any mentor or any inspiration or any person you like to name here today.
See, to be very frank, for me, my biggest inspiration is my mother. Okay,
Okay.
as a child, you always look up to your parents, how they were, how they have, uh, started their journey, or how they are working in the odd situation. So my mother, she is not very literate. She's only 10th pass, and I've always seen her to fight for her rights, stood by uh, us, having a few challenges from the family wherein they were not very supportive for women higher studies and all this thing. But my mother ensured that my kids are good in studies, and if they want to do something, they have to do those kind of things. I've seen that if she has decided that her child will go for further studies, come what may, whatever complications are there, whatever roadblocks are there, if she is being not very educated, if she can do that, then when a person decides something, then anything is possible. So she is kind of a biggest source of inspiration for me.
Okay, so and that same attitude and the toughness come from her only. So like mother, like daughter, yeah.
Yeah.
Good to know that. And what kind of advice you have for the women who want to actually make a career and are looking for a leadership role? Because I know that don't settle, ask for more, toughness, then all those things you have already discussed. But if I say that in nutshell, if you want to say to the woman, if you want to be a leader, you must have these qualities. What you will tell them?
The first and foremost, which I feel, is believe in yourself. See, if you are not believing on yourself, who else will? So, the first thing, that the belief should be very high. So, if you feel, and don't get scared when you have those beliefs. So, when I was telling you that, cybersecurity was a field which was scaring me.
Mhm.
So, don't get scared from anything. Always welcome the opportunities which are coming on your way. बाद में जो होगा देखा जाएगा. At least at that time, grab those opportunities which are coming on your way. And many times what happens, women are assumed to be a very fragile, and job profile, these kind of profiles women can take, maybe in HR or customer service. You have to move out from your comfort zone and show that how competent you are. So when and there will be a lot of roadblocks, there will be a lot of challenges, but the result will be very fruitful when you overcome all those roadblocks and challenges. The very most important part is networking. When you move up to leadership, networking is essential. If you are sitting at the one corner of the office, not feel your presence, okay, and you are not good in networking skills, then you will sit in the same corner forever. So it is very important for a woman to have that courage and confidence to make herself visible in the boardroom. So see, if you have knowledge, if you have skill set, but if you don't have presentation skill, communication skill, and if you don't have that courage and confidence to speak out, put your points on the table, then at the leadership level, you will not be able to succeed. That is something which is a very, very important quality which a leader should possess.
I think in nutshell, it's amazing advice, these women can have from you. So coming back to your life and career again, I'll just like to switch the gear. So let's talk more about cybersecurity. But before that, let's take a moment of joy. So when is in your life or in career the most memorable moment, and you feel like, okay, that was the precious thing I have ever got? Maybe it can be your life moment or any awards. I think you have been one of the most recognized and awarded leader as well. So what is the special thing in your career or anything which you like to share?
Okay, so there are many moments, Gaurav, but if I remember the recent moments, so last year I've received a mail from Economic Times and Femina India that they want to, recognize me for my efforts in or my contribution in the IT sector. And then when I was there in the program, I've seen a lot of prominent women leaders were there. So I was feeling very proud to be a part of those recognition wherein, people are approaching me, looking at my contribution in the industry. And then there are some, inside organization, there are awards wherein last year there were 11 women which has been identified in India who are the top 11 women of Vodafone India. So I was one of them. So those were some of the moments where you realize, okay, you have been recognizing for your contribution and effort. Those are some of the very, very proud moments of my life.
Okay. So, yep, amazing thing, these are the moments which everyone will cherish in Femina India. So it's a Femina India you're talking about, right? So how that came into you that, you want to inspire more women and want to create an environment of inclusion and you want to bring more diversity. So I think you have doing many efforts in that space as well. So what triggered that and what all efforts you are doing in that space?
Okay. So Gaurav, on a lighter note, when I started my career, I was the only woman. Okay. And so in a technology, in a telecom, so in telecom, the biggest team is the technology team. So we were almost 180 people who were working for technology at that time. And there were only 2 women. Okay. Out of 180, there were only 2 women. And then apparently one woman has also moved out because her husband was getting transferred in Canada or Australia. So at the end, I was the only woman who were in those 180. So that's how I started, my professional journey. I've always seen there are less women in the industry, especially in technology field. So when I grew up and I became a team leader, I was a team leader and under me there were 18 boys who were working. Okay. So I was like, okay, I'm the only one. So on a lighter note, okay, so I'm the only one. So now I will recruit more women in my team. And that's how, that's how I started recruiting women in my team. And when I recruited women, I have identified there are a lot of roadblocks and challenges a woman, has in their own life. So just to give you an example, there was a girl in my team, very potential female, and so because the field was like that, because it was an in-house team, so you have to come to the office in any hours. There were a lot of migration activity which happens only in the night hours, very important projects. And this girl wanted to contribute in that part, but the locality where she was residing, if she was going post 8 o'clock to her home, there were people who were looking at her like from where she's coming and all these kind of. When I realized that, there are a lot of things which is associated in a woman's life, and I have given few of the suggestions that, how she can manage the things and all. And then she started doing that and she got benefited. And then there were a lot of young women who used to come to me when we were talking. I used to give them some of the advices, and it was, beneficial for them. So then they were coming back to me by saying that, Saloni, you told us to do that way. We have done that, and this is the result. So I realized, that if this is something, it's a small thing. If I can do, and if it can change anyone's life or can give a positive impact in anyone's life, I should do it more often. So that's how, I've started doing it. I'm part of some of the groups which is on LinkedIn, wherein I'm doing the mentorship for a lot of young women as well.
Okay.
Apart from that, in our organization also, there are a lot of sessions with young women, share our story, share our journey. So they have somebody they can look up to. Okay, this is their journey in telecom, in the same industry. How our can. So that's what I do with them.
Amazing inspiration, Saloni. So yes, I think this is a beautiful story, and the work you are doing is incredible and appreciable. So thank you for doing that. So I have last couple of questions for you. Maybe now I will switch gear to cybersecurity. So in last 1 year in your role, so what is the biggest attack you thought, okay, ये मेरी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में नहीं होना चाहिए या मेरे पास नहीं आना चाहिए? maybe it must not have happened with you, but in industry, what is the biggest threat you have heard and you were scared after that?
So see, biggest attack which I've heard, everyone knows about this Log4j, which is the latest, but it was not an attack, not at least, or not in our industry. That was something which has given me a lot of learning, that how these kind of attack happens, and what are the disadvantage, or what all things we should take care of it. So how do we take the prevention action? How, when you detect, what is your response strategy and all these things. So that's what I've seen. Apart from that, I have experienced a phishing attack. Not in our organization, but to my notice, wherein a lot of malicious traffic, phishing emails which has been sent to the user's inbox, and there were malware links was there in this kind of mails, and then we realized, okay, this is something which has happened. How do you respond to these? So the action which has been taken. So because, as I said, that I'm a part of a lot of networking groups, so there were some of these stories which has been shared, and those were very, very interesting stories. So which has given me also learning, if the same situation happens in our organization, what should be our strategy, and how should we react in such situation. So that's what two things which I have noticed in my last 1 year.
Okay, from the perspective of as a leader, cybersecurity leader, what are the most bizarre requests or the questions you have got in your organization, or people coming asking you, maybe if not in organization, outside? Because I know many people message me on Instagram, especially by, can you hack my girlfriend's Instagram or Facebook? So those kind of requests which hackers or the security professionals are getting. But what kind of weird requests you have got?
So Gaurav, what I feel, security is not a subject for everyone, and people still doesn't understand what cybersecurity is. How should we be more aware about this subject? And so there is lack of awareness. So and people assume that security is the main business only for security. The actual reality is a security team cannot secure their own organization if the people are not supporting. So the weird request which I get is a kind of, if a mail is being blocked by DLP, then people will put a weird request. Why are you blocking? If you will block, how we will do the business? Our third party vendors are outside our domain. So, and security team blocks everything. So those kind of you just give us you just whitelist those email IDs. So they don't understand if this sensitive information will go outside the organization, what will be the impact? So their requests are very weird. Then they will ask some of the things like, मेरे को तो port 80 ही चाहिए, you know, just open the port 80, I want to do this. They don't understand what is security, and that's how a lot of this kind of request which comes to us. Why do I need to secure my file? Give me FTP access. So it is, you know, kind of something we feel, you know, because of the unawareness, they feel the security is blocking everything, or they are not supporting this business. Not kind of weird requests which you have got, you know, in terms of hacking the account and all. But yes, you know, my password should not be shared. You know, this kind of request.
This you know brings an this brings an interesting question to in my mind, you know, because you were earlier not part of the security, so maybe you have made in your career some requests, and you realized in last 1 year that okay, you know, why I was asking those, now I understand, no, we can't do that. So any kind of thing has happened.
So it happened. What happened? So generally, when so as I mentioned that I was into the application development and design kind of. So when you design your application, and you are in IT, you don't apply all kind of security framework or a secure application development. So when we used to give those kind of application to the security team for the assessment, they used to identify a lot of vulnerabilities in that, and they were rejecting, okay, we cannot deploy this application because this is the most unsecure application. They were giving us a lot of things, okay, these are vulnerables, you need to correct it. So, okay, correcting it, giving it back to security. Again, security will not accept it. So it is kind of, you know, we always used to blame security. You know, that application is fine. It is developed now. Security is putting it into the blocking situation wherein it is taking 7 more days or 10 more days because the development efforts are being increased. So yes, those kind of things happened when I was working in IT. Now I'm in the same shoes. I'm the person who are blocking all such requests and finding the vulnerabilities. So I'm now at the other side. So who are working.
We lost you, Saloni.
Okay, I think.
I'm not able to see you as well. Yeah. So you were talking about, you know, now you are on the shoes of cybersecurity, and things are different now.
Yes. So now people tell me, Saloni, you know now how it happens in IT. You understand, support us. You know,
okay.
Now I'm more stringent because I have experience of both the sides. So I know, okay, not right. But yes, when I reflect back, I always laugh on myself. Okay, I am the person who is doing the same thing. Now I'm stopping other people to do the same.
But yeah, so now you have both the experience, you know how to, you know, make those people aware and tell them, okay, I have been from this side and I know how this works best. So that's the advantage you have with you now as well. So, okay, my last question for the day, Saloni. So for the women, what kind of cybersecurity advices or the safe practices you will like to tell them so that they stay safe offline and they can make their life safe in this online world?
Generally, it's not a big rocket science, you know, it's a small thing which one should, you know, aware of. So when I talk about the cybersecurity advices, the most simplest of the advices kind of, you know, share your password whenever you are using, you know, public Wi-Fi. So don't open your financial, you know, websites, or don't do any online kind of transactions. Try to the multi-factor authentications, and don't have your strong and complex passwords. So those kind of things one should be very aware of, because there are a lot of online scams and frauds which happen everywhere. So on social media, you know, people send requests from anonymous account. You know, sometimes people can get trapped with those kind of social media frauds. There are a lot of financial frauds which happens wherein, you know, person has all the details about your policy and the kind of policy of taken, policy number, the amount, and then they try to, make you fools surrounding that. So you have to be very careful when you share those kind of things with anyone. So people see asking OTP and CVV, I feel okay, we all are learned and we know that this should not be given, this should not be provided to everyone. But many a times what happens that people click on some links, okay, so we all are aware about the Paytm scam which happened in between, wherein
Yeah.
people were clicking on the links and getting trapped into those kind of situations. So it's like, how your antennas are open and you are aware about these small things. So you don't become the victim of such kind of fraud. And regarding the advices for a young woman in cybersecurity field, I will say that this field, one should take a punt and should move in this field. Believe me, Gaurav, last 1 year was full of learning and I'm thoroughly enjoying my profile. It's very hectic. Reason being, as you are new, there are a lot of things which you need to learn, a lot of things you need to
Yeah.
read. So, but every day it's a new learning. Okay, every day you feel satisfied. Okay, I've learned something new. So this is the field one should adopt, and this is a niche skill. We have sort of talent in cybersecurity skill. As I mentioned that digital transformation is taking place, there will be more and more role in this field. So if you are equipping yourself in this field, you will be benefited
Yeah,
in
exactly.
either way. So, so that's what I want to say to the young women, not women, but everyone who are
Everyone
making
over there.
career
Yeah,
in
exactly. I think these are a bunch of amazing advice which everyone can take advantage of. Actually, I think overall, I enjoyed thoroughly, listening to you, and thanks for inspiring all of us. It was really nice talking to you, learning about your journey, career, and how the wonderful work you are doing. Thanks for accepting the invite and being on this show.
Thank you, Gaurav. I thoroughly enjoyed the conversation between us because it always takes you down to the memory lane wherein
Yeah.
you talk about your college life, your childhood, your initial years of career. So I thoroughly enjoyed the conversation and thanks for having me here on the platform of CyberFred. You guys are doing amazing thing. I am also part of CyberFred. I've attended a lot of trainings, seminars, webinars from CyberFred. Wish you and your team also uh, best wishes.
Thank you, Saloni. As you said, the memory lens, that's why we call it tales. Those not fairy tales, but the InfoSec leaders' tales, which we are trying to capture here. And it was beautiful learning about you. Thank you.
Thank you, Gaurav. Thank you so much.